Are you thinking about buying or selling a home, or just want to know what might be going on with one of your biggest investments? Then come hang out with us for a little while. Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwall, and welcome to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be chatting a bit with David Theobald and Ben Greilanger about the East Side. My old stomping grounds, east side of St. Paul specifically.
Beautiful place.
We're gonna dive in. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna. I cheat a little bit because it was. I grew up technically in Maplewood, but it was like Larpenteur and DeSoto. Yes.
Yeah.
You enjoyed
You're
the East Side.
Yes, I enjoyed it. So yeah, we're going to be diving into the specific neighborhoods, what's happening, development that's happening, parks, basically anything and everything East Side. But kind of before we got into that, I wanted to chat with you guys a bit about your backgrounds, how you got into real estate. So start off with you, David. Like what? Born and raised where?
Yeah, I was in the East Metro, so more of a Woodbury suburb called Newport, small thing on Highway 61. Before that, my grandpa was farming, so that I feel like plays into my career now in subtle ways. But my dad had a trash company there, so I kind of grew up under small business mindset and working hard and kind of long hours and being in the service industry as well. So I think my dad knew really well on how to like just jump in there and make the customer happy if he missed a stop or something. So some of that service industry, and then onto there to Stout for school, and I did a construction degree there with a business minor. So some of that background was really helpful in knowing house systems. So that's kind of the rough idea of where I came from. And
then any jobs after school?
Yeah, I did construction management right out of school and residential, so a ton of remodeling, saw things from the ground up, new builds, and that type. And then my brother and I started a foam insulation company, so we knew building systems where I got to learn those.
So you know
concepts. Houses, yeah,
yes.
really well.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I know I've talked with others, and that any background in construction is so important. I think I had done renovation and rehab for a little while as well, and I know it's something that clients appreciate, knowing the ins and outs of homes. Definitely. So how about where you get your start?
Well, yeah, I'm born in Minneapolis.
Ooh.
And it was similar. My dad had his own tree care business, so definitely worked a lot with him, and just learned how to work hard and really make sure the customer's taken care of. Went to school for psychology.
That works really well with real estate as well.
I worked about 6 years in inpatient psychiatry at HCMC and Regions, so I definitely learned a lot about how to listen and not judge and all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely helped a lot with
You should do some classes here at BRIX.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. How to decompress.
Yes.
That's pretty much how I kind of got into my professional life.
Well, okay, so go right from there and just stay with you, Ben, on this. Is like, so what got you into real estate? So going from psychology, I can see a tie there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely, because I was reading about real estate, and they kept saying one of the biggest things is how you help clients and how do you listen and be there for people. And I was like, I'm basically already doing this for what I'm doing in work, so. And I was kind of getting tired and kind of burnt out on the hospital setting. Yep. So I was like, this might be a nice shift to help people in other ways.
Right.
And go down that road. So.
And for you, what got you interested, David?
Yeah, so with construction started to fade out and kind of with the downturn of the market, we started to buy houses because they were so cheap. We couldn't sell the house we were in, but we wanted to buy, so we bought some duplexes, started renovating them, so I was using my contracting skills. But then soon realized that the guy helping us buy them maybe couldn't help us to the next phase, and so we kind of needed to get licensed in real estate.
Just a natural transition.
Natural progression, to continue to invest. It just made sense for me to get licensed and pursue our own properties at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you still actually like working on houses, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah.
Pouring some concrete this week, so I don't mind getting dirty. And
It's very different than where I was at. Like my transition into real estate was like I loved houses and looking at homes and seeing the possibility and getting the houses sold. Hated working on them.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
But-
one day's okay, but then if you
It's a
got multiple
decompression.
days,
You get away
Yes.
from people and kind of get that, and then you're ready to. I feel like I'm better to serve, and also know contractors. I know I know what's the ins and outs of putting concrete. So if somebody sees a broken sidewalk on a showing, say, here's what it takes.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. As mentioned, when we come back, we're going to be kind of talking all things East Side, St. Paul, what's going on with the market. Catch all of our shows, TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. We'll be right back. Our local sponsors are BRIX Real Estate, Network Title, Eric Bloomstrand and Chad Preeby with Bell Bank Mortgage, Structure Tech Home Inspections, James Tufson with Country Financial, along with Cregan's Construction and Grey Duck Staging and Design.
Hi, I'm Ruben with Structure Tech Home Inspections. Everyone knows you should have a home inspection before you buy a home, but we've heard of home buyers being encouraged to skip the home inspection in this crazy market to make their purchase offer more attractive. Now they're facing tens of thousands of dollars in unexpected repairs. I'm telling you now, don't skip the home inspection. Here at Structure Tech, we can get your home inspected quickly, and we offer a full line of services. Visit us online at structuretech.com to learn more.
Don't fall for the billboards or the clickbait. There is no such thing as today's rate. Mortgages and mortgage rates are individual to you. Chad Preeby and Eric Bloomstrand with Bell Bank Mortgage are here to show you the formula to get your best rate. Once you know this formula, you can mortgage shop with confidence. Find us online at chadpreeby.com. That is chadpreeby.com. NMLS 1462493, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwall with BRIX Real Estate and the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest financial transactions people make. Before you make your next move, download our free Smart Home Buyer or Smart Seller guides to give you the edge in our real estate market. From deal hunting to knowing the right repairs for maximizing value, these free guides have it all. Check them out and more at BRIXTwinCities.com under publications. Welcome back to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Today we're going to be talking kind of like all things East Side. If you have a neighborhood or area you want us to feature, talk about, please let us know. Go to TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. We're kind of just naturally progressing around with where a lot of our agents live or work, but we are definitely happy to dive into any location. So again, TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. You can submit any suggestions there. Also, any real estate questions, you can give us a call anytime, 651-303-0019. Happy to help you with your buying or selling needs or just questions in general. All right, so East Side, St. Paul, what all does this encompass? What neighborhoods? I mean, you can say East Side, but that's a big swath.
I mean, it's basically like a third of St. Paul is the east side.
Yes.
So it's definitely a more complicated, nut to crack of all the different areas of the east side.
Yeah, so a little bit north and east. There's 4 main neighborhoods. There's the Payne-Phelan, Greater East Side. There's the
Those are the two I know really well.
Yeah, then there's kind of south or straight east of St. Paul is the Sunray, Highwood, Battle Creek neighborhood, and what am I forgetting? Dayton's Bluff.
Dayton's
There.
Bluff.
So those are 4 kind of quadrant.
So which came first, the bowling alley or the neighborhood name? Like chicken or the egg?
Yeah, I'm sure the bowling alley. That always, if you're going to trace history,
Or Sunray
follow the
Center,
bowling alleys. Yeah.
So you guys both live in the east side or lived in east side, correct?
Yeah, I got my first house was in the Dayton's Bluff area. I was right out of college, bought a fixer-upper out there, right in the recession. So it was like, let's give it a go.
Good time to buy.
Yeah. And I didn't really know anything about the neighborhood. I grew up in Minneapolis and didn't really venture to St. Paul much. But I said, let's go for it. And I'm really glad I did because, it's definitely been,
I know you've been a great advocate for the
sure,
location.
For sure. I'm an east side cheerleader for sure.
Yeah, I've been there 20 years. So
Yeah,
first house again out of college, and it's just the affordability that kind of drew me to the area. There's culture; it's culturally rich. It's kind of this first-time immigrants, and so there's so much diversity there. I think that's what drew me 20 years ago to buy my first house.
That was my next question. What drew you in to that neighborhood? So the cultural aspects, the price points, got you in. Anything else that you were excited about the time you made the move?
I think even the housing stock. I mean, I'm a sucker for old houses, so I think Dayton's Bluff and Payne-Phelan corridor, they have a lot of old houses.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
there's some of the oldest neighborhoods in St. Paul. So, my first house was built in 1890. So
Hey, if you want the cool Victorian and you want it affordable,
So
absolutely.
it was definitely exciting that way to be diving into a really old house and.
Yeah, there's plenty of the houses in the area where you walk in that front door and see the staircase, and you basically could write an offer from that point on.
Yeah.
To be like, it's because of the unique, ornate staircases that were all hand done. I mean, that's just an exciting part of the staircases are probably one of my favorite
They're
things.
showpieces.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you're just reading my mind here with the
So,
question. Yeah,
one step ahead of you.
So favorite parts. Obviously the housing stock that you liked. I know for me, a lot of the parks, which we'll talk about in a second here. But is there any other favorite pieces that kind of that you discovered since you moved or that brought you in?
Yeah, so I mean, we've been invited over. I don't think I would in other neighborhoods. I don't know if I would have been invited over to eat in a garage, and we are the only white, is that the right word? We're the only white people there. And so we're just eating foods that we wouldn't normally eat, or that are a little bit scary, or don't taste,
Well, it
very
goes
good.
back to the diversity.
Exactly. Yeah.
So many different tastes. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
And so
food
the
has been
relationships
huge,
that come out of that diversity of people that are different or grew up, I grew up more suburban. And
Well, it's
now
a
I
joke.
get to
Getting
experience-
invited over where it's not just hot dogs and hamburgers. for dinner.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
real food.
Right. It might have been butchered that afternoon.
Yeah.
So that stuff's just extremely rich.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So going with 20 years, what are some of the changes that you've seen come in the neighborhood?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of development. There's the Phelan Boulevard, and that's been an industrial area that used to be all of 3M's. 3M used to be found, their original campus, like headquarters were there. So that's all been developed into other industrial places, McQueen equipment. So it brings a lot of jobs, sort of this blue collar, earthy feel to the east side. I think it preserves that. They've cleaned it, working on a ton of money into the Payne corridor. A lot of new restaurants there, some art, museums, artist lofts and quarters in some of the buildings there.
I know along Payne-Phelan or Payne Avenue that like my mom used to drag me down there back in the 80s going antique shopping up and down. There was tons of antique shops in that location. We used to walk there, go walk to the Dairy Queen off of Payne and go up and downs. Yeah, but I mean antiques to art galleries, not that big step, but
Correct.
Yeah, there's the kind of future projects that are still kind of out there waiting. Like they're hopefully going to be redeveloping part of the Hams Brewery that's been vacant for 20 plus years now.
what are they looking at doing with that?
It's open to proposals right now. So if anyone was thinking about you want a project,
You need a brewery.
the city is trying to sell the oldest buildings that are they're boarded up and bricked over right now, but they're trying to turn it into either artist lofts or some sort of multi-use kind of capabilities. But it's definitely going to take some love to rehab those places.
Yeah,
but,
there was a Ferris wheel or something proposed
they're-
for a while, and the
they're-
zip line from the high stack.
There's a lot of ideas out there right now. So
I don't want to trust
it's
the
a fun energy.
structural integrity of.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like
So, I mean, what else are you seeing, hearing about as far as commercial development? I know we had touched on Hillcrest. Now you say Hillcrest is that going to be more of like a mixed use?
Yeah, it'd be.
Or-
They're still hammering out the exact
So this
details.
Hillcrest golf course, right?
Yeah, the former up in the northeast corner of the city there on Larpenteur McKnight, and a large acreage.
More my neck of the woods.
Yeah, and they're trying to do some light industrial, because like the east side has always been a working class neighborhood, so that's been really important about this development is to make sure it has jobs, decently paying jobs, not white collar jobs, but just decent jobs for the average blue collar worker, and
Yep.
and then along with some bit of housing as well and parks and everything. So
Well, I think that's, I mean, one of the keys that we've seen, it takes that development coming into locations, which ultimately helps neighborhoods in a sense, right? In providing jobs, you know. You could see that on the west side, you know, with all that was done along Roberts, and then as well as, you know, you look at Midway neighborhood and light rail and all that had happened over there, and you know, really saw a lot of changes in price points over time with that. So Hillcrest, is any timelines that you've heard on that one?
They're definitely trying to get something locked in this year.
Is it like a Ford plant timeline where you never
Kind
know
of,
when
yeah.
it's actually going to get
It's definitely behind that, and it's it'll probably be done in phases over the next 10 years.
Okay.
You know, kind of chunks at a time. And
You by chance know like how many acre?
I think it's like 110 acres, something like that. It's about the same size as the Highland Bridge development, so it's a big
That's
chunk
a big
of
chunk.
land. Yeah. You know, and unfortunately, it had some, you know, hazardous waste that need to get cleaned up, of course. You know.
So, with residential development, you brought up a good point about like the vacant lots or open lots, that there aren't any.
Yeah. I mean, 10 years ago, you would have pulled up probably 40 vacant lots in these areas.
Yeah.
Or 100, and now all of them have a house on it. There's very rare to see a vacant lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the infill has been nice to see that a lot of nonprofits, some private, but you know, Habitat, you know.
Well, yeah, when you can buy a lot, I mean, at the time they were 25 to 40 grand, you know, or less, you know, depending. And you could buy one of these lots and then build new and be all said and done for under 300,000. You know, good luck going out to the suburbs and touching a price point like that for new construction.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know one of the things that I absolutely love is some of the parks that are there and a big attraction. Any personal favorites for parks?
I mean, definitely the Lake Phelan is just a jewel on the east side.
Yes.
I mean, you can swim there. There's kayaks. You can rent things to go out on the lake. So yeah, I love the recreation in and around.
Good sledding hills.
Yeah.
You know,
Margaret Park is
Yeah.
is great, real steep one, and just lounge.
Where's Margaret Park?
Earl and basically
Margaret.
Earl and Minnehaha.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah,
All right.
Margaret, but the big ones would be
true,
Earl and Minnehaha. Yeah, I mean the lake's 3.2 miles, so it's almost as perfect, like where it pushes you on a exercise or a run. It's like a good amount to not just take a small walk, but once you get going, you got to finish it. So it's a perfect amount.
And
I made it around halfway around the lake, and I'm like,
Call it. Get somebody to help me out here. I mean, it connects to the gateway from there, so the trail system's amazing. If you can get all the way to Stillwater on trails, right from that spot.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned we had Sarah in here, and we were talking about Stillwater, and I used to take the gateway all the way out to Stillwater.
Yeah.
Do that. That was a 11-mile bike ride or something like that.
It's perfect. And going in, you're downhill, so it's coming back.
Ride back is not nearly as fun.
That, I mean, we were joking early before the show. We were talking about the Sweet Hollow way back, even as early as the 50s, being just a complete slum and just a really tragic area. But so that's been cleaned up. So there's really nice trail system down through there we could access, to a Saints game. I can bike from my house almost on trails exclusively, all the way down to the Saints Stadium.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
That's such a unique park because you go in there and you're in this 40-foot ravine and you forget you're like a mile away from downtown St. Paul. You just are surrounded by trees and nature. There's deer and turkeys and stuff. So it's just like, wow, what a unique park.
Well, let's jump into a little bit kind of what the market has done. Where it looks like it might be going. So if you don't mind sharing, so 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
How much did you get in for?
Yeah, $163 I paid for
the
first house, and then whatever was it 5 years later? It was worth maybe $90.
Yeah, I was going to say you got to experience that price twice.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Or wait, would it be paid, went up, and went back down, and then 3 times.
Then recovered.
Yes, 3 times you've gotten it, yes.
Yeah.
Whereas I came in after, the bottom had fallen out, and, my house, I think it was about 1,100 square foot house, $50,000. And, it was
50 grand.
50 grand.
Yeah.
Payment all around like $400 bucks.
Yeah, I remember the property taxes were $600 a year.
Wow.
Oh man.
I was like, I miss those days.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. That the whole area was hit so hard by the foreclosure crisis, and the prices were just crazy cheap. And thankfully things have recovered. It didn't.
Okay, so where would you put that $50,000 house today?
I sold it a couple years ago for what was it, 138. So
138,
almost twofold.
But it probably is pushing.
It's probably
200,
it's probably in the
200
high
right now.
one almost 200 now.
Yep.
For that house. So yeah, it's just kept going because it's a great proximity to a lot of things, and
Where would you say you're in the same house, right?
That one we sold.
Oh,
and then-
okay.
But with some duplexes that we bought for $40,000 back in that same time frame, and kept those, and those are in the 200 to 290 range. Some of them now, so a lot of recovery in that area. Affordability is still,
Yeah, it's
better than
one of the more affordable locations in the Twin Cities. I know a lot of people out there are struggling to find those houses for under $300,000. But you look at locations like Greater East Side, that $244 is the median sale price range, right? You can get into that. So Greater East Side, close to, like we were saying, by 3M, by Phelan, or close to Phelan is where kind of where it starts.
right.
Payne Phelan, you can get in for $230,000 is a median sale price range. And then like Dayton's Bluff down at about 227-ish, right? So definitely a spot where there's a lot of opportunity, and there is a lot happening, a lot of that development, talking about Hillcrest or down by the brewery. Like as this happens, those prices are going to keep moving up. So it's a good location to lock into.
Yeah, if you're handy too, I think there's some distressed houses still around there, so you can find that, do some repairs, and potentially pull equity out. And
Yeah, you could drop your price
transition.
point and are probably $30,000-$40,000.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of in the last few seconds of the segment, I would say, probably still some of the stronger growth over the next year or 2 years, where I expect a lot of these other neighborhoods to kind of flatten out because they've peaked out. Would you concur?
Yeah, I think a lot of people get burnt out and higher price, so they say, oh, maybe we'll take a second look on the east side and see if there's actually something that we can work with.
Yeah. And definitely a lot of locations that can be that walkable neighborhood if that's what you're looking for. So, well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Think about your favorite parts about being a real estate agent, and we'll come right back. Any questions, TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. We'll be right back.
Not every title company is the same. There are many people involved with each real estate transaction, and all of them need to be in the loop or a closing may get delayed. This is why the people at Network Title strive to provide swift scheduling and communication between the buyers, sellers, agents, and lenders. We know moving can be stressful, however, your closing does not need to be. Check us out online at network-title.com.
My name is James Tobson with Country Financial. Anyone can sell you insurance, however, is it going to be the insurance you need? When life pops up with its surprises, you want the right coverage. When it comes time to find or renew your policy, give me a call. I would love to review your existing policy and show you what I can do for you. You can email me at james.tobson@countryfinancial.com or give me a call at 651-365-3408.
Hi, I'm Becca, owner of Greilanger Staging. With today's home buyers beginning their journey exclusively online, the look and feel of your home matters more than ever. Whether it's a simple in-home consultation, a refresh using your current furniture, or a whole home staging, our goal is always the same: showing your home in the best light and helping you achieve the highest sales price possible. To learn more, visit us at GreatDuckStaging.com or check us out on Instagram at Grey Duck Staging.
Welcome back to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Now, normally when I pose this question, I have like a minute and 30 seconds for one person, but since I have two of you here today, gotta be quick. David, what's your favorite part about being a real estate agent?
It's the service, the people, like watching their story kind of come to life as it relates to housing. It's so fun to watch people change as houses do too. So people are like houses.
Like it. Yeah. All right.
For me, yeah, kind of tapping into that psychiatry background. Like, I love helping people through, it can be one of the most stressful transactions of their life. Can be. Mm-hmm. And, just helping them really see the bigger picture and keep moving forward. So you're kind of like this coach and, helping them along. So that's really satisfying to, be reassuring that way.
Yeah, I know. I always say that, when talking to new agents, it's like, your job isn't to sell houses. Your job is to be a guide. Mm-hmm. Help people through what is one of the biggest financial transactions that most people make until the next time they do it.
Totally.
If you're coming up on one of these transactions, check out TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. There we have our free publications, the Smart Home Buyer and the Smart Seller Guide. If you have any questions for us, shoot us a call, 651-303-0019, or submit them through TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. Thanks, guys, for coming in. See you next week.
People always ask realtors, what is your commission? But what they should be asking is, what is your rate of return? Commissions only vary by a couple of % from agent to agent. However, the price per square foot you get just based on their experience and the quality of marketing they use can vary by 10% or more. At BRIX Real Estate, our agents use the right marketing and have the experience to get you top dollar for your house. See what we can do for you at BRIXTwinCities.com.
Not every title company is the same. There are many people involved with each real estate transaction, and all of them need to be in the loop or a closing may get delayed. This is why the people at Network Title strive to provide swift scheduling and communication between the buyers, sellers, agents, and lenders. We know moving can be stressful, however, your closing does not need to be. Check us out online at network-title.com.
You can catch us across all your devices, whether that's on TV on the CW23 Saturday mornings at 6:30 or KSTC Saturday mornings at 6, on the radio at AM 950 Sundays at noon, also on YouTube or Facebook by just typing in Twin Cities Real Estate Show, or you can also podcast us anytime, again, by typing in Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Don't forget to check us out online anytime at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. There you can find all of our past shows, our weekly market updates, along with the latest and greatest searching and researching tools, and our free publications to include the Smart Home Buyer Guide and the Smart Seller Guide, along with the BRIX Report. All of these free for you. If you have any real estate questions, please feel free to give us a call, 651-303-0019. Again, 651-303-0019. Happy to help answer any of your real estate questions or assist with your real estate needs.